Hello everybody. Today we're going to be going over a Theorycraft I'm doing specifically for the Werebear. Just if the idea is I want to play a bear, I want to try to maximize what the bear can do, but while staying within the theme of, only playing a Werebear, not trying to do a hybrid thing. I have other hybrid Theorycrafts up. Um, and see, what can we really do with it? What can the Werebear, if you go a purist Werebear type build, what can it really offer? So first off, we're going Maul. This fortifies you and it's a nice little AoE swipe. Cool. Just basic spirit generator. Um, using landslide. Oh, that's not. This isn't right. I think I had that set up wrong. Okay. Anyway, so using pulverize as your main one here. Now the reason why I have landslide ranked up is because we have specific legendaries that are going to synergize with this. But anyway, so shapeshift into a werebear, slam the ground, dealing 70% damage. Your next pulverize will overpower every 10 seconds while you remain healthy. There's going to be a lot of fortify in this build, so you should be healthy a lot. So you'll be able to get overpowered. Enemies are stunned for 2 seconds when they're overpowered with pulverize. Now this is going to combo with after landslide damages enemies 4 times, the next hit will immobilize them. When immobilized or stunned, when you immobilize or stun an enemy, you gain a Terremote. Each enemy hit by landslide consumes a Terremote, causing a guaranteed critical hit with a 40% critical strike damage. Bosses always have up to a 10% chance to grant a Terremote when hit. Now this is cool because on bosses, you're going to be stacking Terremotes, okay? And whenever and then whenever you stun and immobilize stuff with pulverize, you'll stack one, and then whenever you hit things with landslide, you're going to stack one. Now, whenever you cast trample, okay, which is an ability we have later on down the line, it's going to cause 6 landslide pillars of earth during its duration that deal 70 to 80% normal damage, so you're going to be trampling through things, hitting them with 6 pillars, and then after landslide damages an enemy 4 times, so once you've hit something 4 times, you're going to immobilize them, which is then going to allow you to get more Terremotes, right? And it doesn't specifically say that you have to immobilize or stun an enemy through landslide. It just says you have just when it happens. So you're going to have this, stuff like that. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Pulverize is an earth skill. This is just so you can get bonuses from earth stuff. I believe I have, and then pulverize also creates a shockwave. So your pulverize is going to be kind of your bread and butter, dealing a ton of damage. And then whenever you do trample, it says landslides, earth pillars each strike a second time and deal an additional 6 to 12% bonus damage on hit. So whenever you trample, it is like a bomb. It's going to be like 6 landslide pillars that are all double procking when you have both of these. So you're going to trample, and then as you're running through them, theoretically, right, it should just be double landsliding them, giving you Terremotes and just critting like mad. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how it plays out. So after that, we took Earthen Bulwark. The reason why we took this is because, well, we didn't really have a lot of good options, and because we wanted to run deal 23 to 33% increased damage while we have a barrier active. So it's just going to be a way for you to get a damage boost, because we're also running aspect of Mending Stone. The duration of Earthen Bulwark is increased by 6 seconds, so whenever you use this, this is also just a 33% damage buff for about 10 seconds on a 16-second cooldown. So, not bad. Not the best, but it's not bad. It's a damage buff. Vine Creeper. We use Vine Creeper because it immobilizes things, so that's going to give you Terremotes for immobilizing stuff. This is just to synergize with all that. Don't really need ravens, don't really need wolves, because the thing is like if you're going to run wolves and you're going to run ravens, you might as well run the companion legendaries, and this isn't meant to be a companion build, so I'm not going to go for that, because like you can't really build ravens and wolves into any build and not take those other 2 legendaries. I think you're just kind of trolling because of how good those are. So So now we got Trample, shapeshift into a Werebear, become unstoppable and charge forward, dealing dealing a bunch of damage and knocking things back, and any things that are knocked back into terrain are also stunned, which also grants Terramorts. So dude, like your Tramples it's gonna be a pretty big ability. It's 14-second cooldown, but it's gonna be huge. It also is gonna grant 20 Spirit when you cast it and deal bonus damage. So then we have, so because Pulverize and Earth skill, Earth skills deal 15% increased damage to slowed, stunned, immobilized, or knocked back enemies. Trample knocks back. This is going to stun. Vine Creeper immobilizes. You have a lot of ways to proc this. And since Pulverize is an Earth skill, you'll get benefit from that. Okay, Ultimate. So now we got when Shapeshifting Seal transforms you, deals 15% increased damage. Now I'm not 100% certain this is going to be worth it because you really only have one thing. Like you should be in Werebear form a lot, but you do have Vine Creeper and you have Earthen Bulwark. Both of these are going to turn you back into a human. So as long as you're weaving those in, you should be able to get 15% extra damage from that. We're going Grizzly Rage. The reason why we're going Grizzly Rage is I believe we're taking... Did I not take that one? Oh no, I guess I didn't. Yeah. Well, you can't, if you want, if you don't like one of these legendaries and you want to, you could take this. Increases the duration by 1 to 5 seconds, and critical strikes will increase your critical strike damage by 10% for the duration. Now, I'm not certain if that stacks infinitely, so like you could just get a wild critical strike damage thing, but if it did, that could also be potentially good. Like you could make an argument that maybe you don't take the Fortify, or maybe you don't take one of these barrier ones and just go for this. Because I mean, increasing this by 5 seconds is like giving this more pseudo cooldown reduction as well because it's lasting longer. As it's already going to last 20 seconds as long as you're killing things. And it's also a pretty good damage bonus, and you also get to cast your Werebear skills in it, like Trample and stuff like that. So it combos pretty well. You know, you'll be able to do Landslide, pretty big damage buff. It's pretty good. Then key passive, Ursine Strength. Gain 20% additional max life while in Werebear form and for 3 seconds after leaving Werebear form. And while healthy, deal 30% increased damage. Because of how much Fortify you should have, you really shouldn't have an issue. You should be getting a ton of Fortify from like Maul and stuff like that. So yeah, so like whenever you hit stuff with Maul, you fortify, and you should have plenty of things fortifying you to get you there. And you can also just do this if you need some extra fortify. Just do that, make that one little change, and you'd be surprised how big of a difference that makes. Okay, so now going over the other legendaries. I believe I went over all those. So we have Ballistic Aspect. When you have Fortify, your Earth skills gain +2 ranks. Well, since Pulverize is an Earth skill, it'll gain +2 ranks. You make use of Landslide all the time. That's just pretty solid. Then come down here to Mangled Aspect. When you're struck as a Werebear, you have a 20 to 30% chance to gain a Spirit. I just do this because you might as well. Like, it's just going to give you more resource. I wasn't really too fond of anything else. I mean, you could do, if a core skill hits 5 or more enemies, 20 to 40% of the resource cost is done, but the thing is that's a unique ring, so that takes up a ring slot. So it doesn't really work out that well, whereas this is a legendary. So, and then you have, yeah, that's another unique ring. This is a unique helm. So, like, there's not really a whole lot of stuff there, but while unstoppable and for 2 seconds after, you get 10 to 25% increased movement speed. So that's just good because you'll be unstoppable the whole time you're in this. And you also get Fortify while you're in this too as well, if I didn't mention that. But yeah, then we go over here to this. So I go Calamity, extend the duration of ultimate skills. Nature magic skills have up to a 50% chance to reduce the cooldown of your ultimate. I do that because this legendary turns Trample is a nature magic and a earth skill now, so it can actually proc that. And it means it also gains all the benefits from all the other earth skill stuff as well. So then specialize in Eagle to get crit and more critical strike damage, and then 10% reduced damage from elites from the deer. I'm really sad they don't have an increased move speed one. God, I would love it if they had that. You could also go Obsidian Slam if you wanted to, but I think trying to reduce the cooldown of your ult is pretty big here. As your ult is going to be pretty big damage, because for every second you're in Werebear form, you get an additional 3% damage bonus. So if you're in this for 22 and a half seconds, you're getting like 80% increased damage bonus by the time it's over, is assuming you're maxing it out every time. So that's a pretty big damage increase. Alright, so going up to the Paragon. Earth skills deal 30% increased damage to enemies affected with crowd control. We have stuns, we have immobilizes, easy to get 30% increased damage here. Then we want, while in Werebear form, you deal 1% increased damage. So when you're in the Grizzly Rage, you're getting this like all the time, right, for that whole 30 seconds. So there isn't going to be any switching back and forth into different forms. So you should be getting some pretty decent damage increase from this, especially as things life gets lower, right, up to 50%. So then don't use werewolf stuff. Where was it at? We're not using poison. I mean, the thing is with this is like I don't think this is worth it because things aren't going to be consistently poisoned. Vine creepers are only poison source. You could, if you were going to go this, you could go, let's see, you could go heightened malice, and then you would also have to take constricting tendrils, and then hope that your trample procs this consistently, and then you'd be able to get another immobilize effect and poison, so that could potentially be good. But then if you did that, you would also want to switch this probably from mangled aspect to damaging a poisoned enemy with a werebear skill will instantly consume it. So that's another option. I think that could potentially be okay. But going for after shape-shifting, spirit costs are reduced by 10% for 5 seconds up to 30%. So this is a good way to just reduce spirit costs. Then after spending 75 spirit, you deal 30% increased damage. And I mean, you get 200 points to these paragons, so you should be able to get a few of these. Now, I don't know exactly how the paragon's going to play out because the way it works in the actual game is like you can like change this around to see how you want to connect and stuff like that. But I don't know where each of these connect, because you see how it says board attachment gate? A board attachment gate is where this is going to attach to another one. So depending on how you rotate this and stuff like that, it's going to depend on what you're able to get access to. But yeah, we use stuff like this, plus 5% werebear skill and damage, plus 9% overpower damage, etc., etc. So a lot of good stuff in Paragon. A lot of good stuff in it. But alrighty, well, this has been the Werebear Theorycraft build. Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time.